Jinn! Hi and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben and this is my review for Netflix's original series, Jinn. So Jinn is a coming of age story with elements of the supernatural. At least IMDb says that. But actually it's so much more than that. There's 5 episodes in this series, so it's quite short. And the first episode is 45 minutes, and then the second, third, fourth and fifth are 30 minutes, 28 minutes, 26 minutes, and they just get shorter and shorter. And one of the worst things about this series, I'm just going to get that out of the way first before I talk about what I really liked about the series, is that it feels like it's rushed. It feels like maybe they had a smaller budget or they weren't sure about this series, and so they really wanted to kind of just give a few episodes to see what they could do with it and whether it has an audience or not. And so you get this initial kind of burst into this new world of Jinn. It's 45 minutes long and it's basically the telling of these teenagers at school. I'd say older. The actors in this look older than teens, but the demographic is teen according to Netflix, and so they go on the school trip, and then something happens there in the school trip. And I have to say that I thought the first episode was quite good. It puts you into the world quite quickly of what to expect, what you get from this series. It is very teenage angsty in moments, but I thought the protagonists, there are quite a few of these, and where the Jinn lore is put into this series works quite well within that first episode. Hey. The episode itself, where it's set with the school trip, is very atmospheric and it's filmed well. It looks great. Okay, I don't think there's any special shots where I was like, wow, that looks amazing, but the cinematography wise, because of the surroundings, it lends itself to just kind of very atmospheric tendencies, and I quite like that because of the whole nature of this series, Jinn. And there's one kid that's obsessed with the Jinn lore, and there are others that are now being affected because of something that happens within the first episode. And I'm doing non-spoilers, so there is this kind of cataclysmic event, I guess, a single event. Something happens to someone and then a Jinn is basically thrust into their world, and then they interact with a number of Jinn. And I have to say that that bit is fun. When the story is dealing with Jinn, I was most entertained with this series. Are you not entertained? But when it kind of goes back to story, trying to flesh out the characters, because the story is so short, I feel like it's really rushed in places, and then in other places it feels like it's slow and they're not really progressing the story arc further enough or quick enough. Sometimes that'll explain to you the lore about what this Jinn means, or what you can do with the Jinn in this world. Some Jinn can be dissuaded by certain means, but then at other times they can't be, and then some Jinn have certain powers and they look like they're really strong, but then very quickly you see that they are not that strong, and it's very easy for humans to keep them at bay. And so there's this balance that I'm not sure that works in storyline. I think had they explained more about the actual lore of the Jinn, and had they had 10 episodes to really kind of flesh out the stories of both the characters and the Jinn's storylines, I think that would have been great. I don't want to feel like I'm just coming down really hard on this series, because I was quite entertained. And because it was quite short, it wasn't hard for me to invest a little while into this. Maybe this series would have worked better as a long film. Maybe, I'm not sure, because then it would sit in the kind of the Netflix original film content wise, and sometimes those aren't the best. So series tend to get a bit more of a, people tend to give more of a chance to the series of Netflix. So I think it is wise to put it here, but I do think that we needed more episodes, more content. If you're going to give something a chance, I would say go for it rather than just really skim it down. I do feel like this would have worked better in a longer series. So, but some of the positives are, I do like that it kind of just jumped right into it. I do like some of the protagonists. I think at times the acting is really strong, at times it's not so great. At times the dialogue I thought was a lot of fun and was believable, I think, in the demographic of the students, of how they interacted with each other. I feel like that was quite well from what I remember, although the culture is different. Obviously the way they speak and things would mean different to them, obviously, because it's a different culture. I feel like they got that right most of the time. There were some scripting moments and dialogue moments that I thought, that just feels a bit wrong. It didn't quite work. I would have liked more time So acting wise, I think it was okay. The special effects I thought looked mostly good. There was one point where the water was doing a thing and I didn't think that looked great, but when the Jinn are doing their sand thing, I thought that looked really good. I'm wearing this shirt, Arjun, on purpose because it's a Netflix original anime that deals with Jinn, Arjun, a type of Jinn, and I thought they did the storyline wise that really well, and I was really hoping for more kind of that content in this. I do hope they get a second series, and it looks like they're planning on it because it's left on a massive cliffhanger. So hopefully we'll get more episodes and more time to flesh out the characters and the storyline, because that is what's missing from this series most of all. You need time to develop your arc, you need time to develop your lore of what is established within the Jinn world. I think there's something there to kind of get your teeth into. It's like a taster of a series, really. And I'm kind of teetering between whether it's good or whether it's bad. I'm in the middle, so I'm going to give this a C+, because I think it could be a B, maybe A if the story goes better in the second season. But at the moment, I think with some of the dialogue, some of the acting, and the story just being rushed, I think it's definitely sitting in the C range. Thanks so much for supporting my channel. I do appreciate you guys. Give it a thumbs up and a like and a share. It really does help my channel. And I've got Jessica Jones season 3 dropping any day now. It's a couple of days late, but I just wanted to wait till it's closer to the release of Jessica Jones season 3. Let me know what you thought about this season. Are you going to watch it? Are you interested in it? I think it's good, kind of, if that makes sense. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys watching my content. Let me know in the comments below. I will chat to as many as I can there. But most of all, until next time, live long and Tuesday.